Okay guys, so we have another uplight socket that broke. So now what we're going to be doing is have an this uplight socket broke. So I was, of course, I'm getting ready for I'm getting ready for Halloween. So I was putting my purple bulbs up, and I put the purple bulb in the socket, and it didn't work. So what we are going to do is we're going to replace this uplight socket with a new one. Well, actually, we're going to replace it with the same style socket, so I'll show that in a sec. So tools that you'll need for this project, you'll need a drill or a drill or a screwdriver. You'll need some wire strippers, some needle-nose pliers. You'll need a socket. I'll show that in a sec. You'll also need some wire caps. So you'll need a socket, you'll need a gasket, and also need a gasket like that for the socket as well. So we got all that pretty much covered. So what we are going to do is now the power is turned off, so we're just going to simply replace the socket. So the failure, what happened to this one is there's of course there's two pins or whatever you want to call them, two rivets that hold the socket down, and one of them broke free over the years, and the other one was still holding on and making contact, but now the neutral broke free and it doesn't want to work. So what we are going to do is we're going to replace it with another one, as I said. So we'll replace it with the same exact style, and that's what we'll do. We'll also replace the gasket behind it, because the gasket behind it is in pretty rough shape. So we'll replace that as well. So yeah. So I'm going to use my DeWalt drill to get it off. Of course, when you're doing something like this, you don't want to put too much pressure on it, because of course you don't want to break the screws or anything like that. So these, I think these sockets, of course, as I said, a lot of my sockets in the house are original. So a lot of them are at least 9 or 10 years. I think they're probably at least 10 years old, these sockets. A lot of the original ones that are still original. But of course, I've replaced at least 2 of them on my house so far. Or not, no, I've replaced only 1 of them so far. This is the second one that's getting replaced. So yeah. So of course, want to make sure that's going the right direction. So we can loosen it, make sure it'll fit. Looks like it'll fit just fine. We'll just simply loosen it. Do the same with this one. So you can just loosen it up a bit there. And then I'll kind of do the rest with the screwdriver, just because I don't want to strip out these screws, because it almost started stripping out the one screw on this side. So we'll do the rest with a regular Phillips head screwdriver. I was just thinking we'll start off with that, just to help us get started there, so we can take the light socket down here. So of course, all we're doing right now is we're just unthreading the screws from the junction box. Now the last video that I did of replacing a socket, that one was on a pancake junction box. I would think this one would be on a plastic junction box. Uh-oh. If the screw broke free or what? It looked like it broke a bit. That's why I said we gotta be very, very careful. We'll try and do this one with the... Alright. Of course, you don't want to put too much force on the screws, because you do not want to break them. That's very important on doing a project like this. Very important. Now, of course, we are, as I already said, we are doing a gasket replacement as well, because the gasket, of Of course, it's the original gasket, and gaskets don't last forever, so we're going to replace the gasket as well. So as you can kind of see here, we got, you can kind of see what we got going on. Just a standard junction box here. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see, yeah, mud diver's nest got in here at the time. So, alright, this gasket's badly rotted, so this is definitely getting replaced. So we'll pull that out, just like that. Of course, you got our hot, our neutral, and our ground. So let's see. So yeah, I have to get that mud diver's nest out of here. Wow, that's a big mud diver's nest. Just makes you wonder how they get in there. Of course, we'll be reusing the original metal bracket for this as well. But first, we gotta take it out. So, so they kind of wrap that ground around the neutral there. This looks like it's pinching it a bit. All right, let's see. We'll undo our hots and our neutrals first. So let's see. All right. So I got that. Now, of course, what we are going to do is for this project, not necessarily, I would recommend if you're going to replace a socket, I would recommend putting new wire caps on here. Now you can reuse the old ones, but the old ones are rusted, so we're just going to replace them with new ones to be on this, because that's what you want to do to be on the safe side. You replace it with a new wire cap, and that's the way you do things. That's how you want to do, that's the way you want to do stuff. But what we're doing for now is we're just going to reuse those just to hold that up there. I'll have to get rid of this mud diver's nest. But as I said, of course, I have not messed around with a lot of these sockets, so you don't really know what to expect. Because yeah, there's like a mud diver's nest in here. We'll have to get the mud diver's nest out of here before we put everything back together. Wow, that one's on there pretty good. Yeah, of course, another thing is you don't really expect as well is the condition of the wire caps, on how long they've actually been on here for. This one does not want this neutral does not want to come off. Shoot. All right. Wow, it's stuck on there pretty good. Let's see. Always helps to take pliers and do that with the pliers. Yeah, that makes things a whole lot easier. See, there we go. So that's another way to do it. So if you have a stuck wire cap, use needle nose pliers, and that'll do the job for you. So that made things a little more easier there. So of course, simply take that off. Just put this on here from now. Of course, as I said, the wire caps are going to be replaced with new ones, so it doesn't really matter. We're just using those to support the wires right now. And let's see, now we gotta remove our ground here. So let's see here. We'll just pull the wires out from here. All right. We'll undo our grounding screw. All right. So got that out. We'll just retighten that original grounding screw back on, just like that. The original grounding screw looks like it's still kind of good, so we might end up reusing that. Maybe. I'll think about it. Of course, look at this. This is our this is our gasket. As you can see, this gasket has seen better days, so we're not going to be using the original gasket. That's why we got a replacement one. So of course we got the socket, which that's going to get replaced. So I'll tell you what we'll do first is we'll break this mud diver's nest free. Get that out of there. That's something that's not supposed to be in there. Of course, always remove excess debris that's in the junction box. That way, if there's any gasket and stuff, which there was, if there's a rotten gasket in here, get that out. Alright, so, of course, we'll get some new wire caps. So, yeah. I'll end up making a part 2 on this as well, since the video is so long. So anyways, thanks for watching and have a great day, and stay tuned for part 2.